The snowstorm swallowed the highway like a living thing. Ethan gripped the steering wheel tightly as visibility vanished around them. Then Olivia noticed something impossible. A woman in a white wedding dress, standing in the middle of the road, covered in blood, smiling. And when the headlights passed through her body, she disappeared. But a second later, 3 wet handprints appeared on the back window of their car. Colorado Mountains. 11:48 p.m. The storm arrived too fast. Snow hammered Ethan's SUV, while freezing wind screamed through the dark mountain highway. The GPS lost signal 30 minutes ago. No cars, no lights, no civilization, only endless forest. Olivia rubbed her hands nervously. We should turn back. Ethan forced a smile. We're fine, but he didn't sound convinced. The road ahead vanished behind heavy fog. Then suddenly, the engine died. The SUV rolled silently across the icy road before stopping completely. Everything became quiet. Too quiet. Only the storm remained. Ethan tried restarting the engine. Nothing. Again. Nothing. Then Olivia whispered, "Ethan." He looked up. A woman stood outside the passenger window. A bride. Her white dress soaked red. Her face hidden beneath a torn veil. Olivia screamed. Ethan turned instantly. But nobody was there. Only snow. Heavy snow. Then the radio suddenly crackled alive. Soft wedding music filled the car. Old piano. Slow dancing music. A woman singing softly. The music distorted. Then a whisper emerged from the speakers. Room 307. The radio exploded into static. Olivia began crying. We need to leave now. That's when Ethan noticed something through the storm. A building. Far ahead. A glowing sign flickering weakly in the snow. Blackwood Inn. The hotel looked ancient. 3 stories tall. Dark windows. Peeling paint. Almost abandoned. But one room on the 3rd floor glowed red. Room 307. Lightning flashed. For a split second, someone stood inside the glowing room, watching them. The lobby smelled like wet wood and mold. A fireplace crackled weakly. The entire hotel felt frozen in time. An old man stood behind the desk. Tall, pale, his eyes looked almost gray. He stared at Ethan and Olivia without blinking. You're lucky, he said slowly. 1 room left. Ethan sighed in relief. We'll take it. The old clerk froze, then asked quietly, Are you newly married? Olivia nodded. The old man's expression changed instantly. Fear. Real fear. What room? Ethan asked. The clerk swallowed hard. 307. The fire suddenly went out. Darkness swallowed the lobby. Olivia heard footsteps upstairs. Slow, dragging. Then came soft laughter. A woman laughing. The lights returned. The old clerk slid the key across the desk. If you hear wedding music tonight. He leaned closer. Do not open your door. The hallway leading to room 307 felt endless. Every light flickered. The carpet looked stained. Old family portraits lined the walls. But Olivia noticed something horrifying. Every portrait had the faces scratched out, except one, a wedding photograph. A bride and groom smiling together. The groom's face was destroyed, but the bride remained untouched. Olivia moved closer, then froze. The bride looked exactly like the woman from the road. Suddenly, the elevator dinged open behind them. Empty, but muddy footprints slowly stepped out onto the carpet. One by one, invisible footsteps. Walking toward room 307, Olivia whispered, Ethan, somebody's here. The footsteps stopped directly outside their room, then vanished. Room 307 looked strangely normal. Old furniture, dusty chandelier, a large mirror facing the bed. But the room felt cold, unnaturally cold. Olivia entered the bathroom. The mirror fogged instantly. Then words slowly appeared across the glass. He left me here. Olivia screamed. Ethan rushed inside. The words vanished. You're imagining things, Ethan said nervously. But deep down, he knew something was wrong. Very wrong. 2:58 a.m. Olivia woke suddenly. Silence. Then, piano music. Soft wedding music echoed through the hallway. Ethan woke up too. Both stared toward the door. The music grew louder. Slow footsteps approached outside. Then came knocking. Knock, knock, knock. Olivia whispered, "Don't open it." The knocking continued, then stopped. Complete silence. Ethan slowly walked toward the peephole. Nothing. Empty hallway. He exhaled. Then the elevator dinged open. A bride stepped out, her dress covered in blood, head tilted unnaturally, veil hanging over her face. She slowly turned toward room 307, toward Ethan. Then the bride lifted her veil. Her jaw hung broken, one eye missing, and she whispered, "Darling." The lights exploded. Darkness filled the hotel, and something began scratching at their door. The scratching continued all night, slow, violent, like fingernails scraping wood. Neither Ethan nor Olivia slept. At sunrise, the hallway outside room 307 looked normal again. No blood, no bride, nothing. Ethan convinced Olivia they should leave immediately, but when they reached the parking lot, their SUV was gone. Only tire marks remained in the snow, leading into the forest. The old clerk stood behind them silently. "The storm trapped you," he whispered. "There's no road out today." Olivia noticed something strange. The hotel clerk wore a wedding ring, but his finger beneath it looked burned black. They spent the day exploring the hotel. Every hallway felt identical. Every clock inside the building had stopped at 307. Then Olivia heard crying behind one wall. Soft crying. A woman whispering. He promised he'd stay. Olivia followed the sound into an old storage room. There she discovered a hidden door behind stacked furniture. The door led into a secret hallway hidden inside the walls. Dust covered everything. Old candles, rotting flowers, wedding dresses hanging from the ceiling. Then Olivia found photographs. Dozens, hundreds. Brides standing beside different men across different decades. Every groom was different, but every bride had the same face. The bloody bride. Then Olivia discovered a newspaper clipping. Blackwood Massacre, 1953. A bride named Eleanor Vale disappeared during her honeymoon after her husband murdered her in room 307. Her body was never found, but guests reported hearing wedding music every year on the night she died. Suddenly, the hidden hallway door slammed shut. Darkness swallowed the room. Then Olivia heard breathing. Right behind her. She turned slowly. The bride stood inches away, smiling, holding a rusted knife. The storm outside became worse. The hotel phone stopped working. Doors began changing locations. Hallways stretched unnaturally long. Ethan started seeing shadows watching him from mirrors. Then one guest approached him during dinner. A woman sitting alone, pale skin, dark eyes. She whispered, "You shouldn't have come here with her." Ethan frowned. "What?" The woman smiled sadly. "She always takes a groom." Then the woman suddenly disappeared. Completely gone. No footsteps. Nothing. Later that night, Ethan searched the hotel records. Every guest currently staying at Blackwood and matched missing person reports dating back decades. Nobody ever escaped. The hotel itself was feeding on them. Then Ethan discovered the horrifying truth. The old hotel clerk was Eleanor's husband. Still alive, still trapped, cursed forever. He confessed what happened decades ago. He murdered Eleanor after discovering she planned to leave him, but the hotel brought her back, not as a woman, but as something else, something hungry. Now every newly married couple who entered the hotel became part of the curse. At exactly 3:07 a.m., the bride returned, and this time she wanted Ethan. The final night began with wedding music, louder than ever. Every hotel guest emerged into the hallways together, all smiling, all staring at Ethan. The bride walked slowly through the crowd, dragging her knife behind her. Sparks followed the blade. Olivia grabbed Ethan's hand and ran, but the hotel changed around them. Doors led nowhere. Stairs twisted endlessly. Every mirror reflected the bride, standing closer behind them. Then Ethan heard whispers filling the hotel. "Stay with me?" "Forever." The bride finally cornered them inside room 307. The walls began bleeding. Wedding photographs burst into flames. And Olivia saw the truth. Hundreds of shadowy figures trapped inside the mirrors. Former guests. Screaming silently, the bride stepped toward Ethan, her broken face slowly softening. For one moment she looked human again. Tears filled her eyes. Then she whispered, "You left me alone." Suddenly the hotel shook violently. The walls cracked open. Darkness poured from inside them. The dead guest began crawling toward Ethan. Olivia dragged him toward the hallway, but the bride grabbed Ethan's arm. Her grip burned like ice. Ethan screamed. Olivia tried pulling him free, but shadowy hands emerged from the darkness, pulling Ethan backward, deeper into room 307. The last thing Olivia saw was Ethan reaching toward her while the bride wrapped her arms around him. Then the door slammed shut. Silence. The storm outside suddenly stopped. Olivia escaped the hotel alone. At sunrise, police arrived with her, but Blackwood was gone. No hotel, no road, nothing, only endless snow. The officers thought Olivia had lost her mind, until one detective noticed something in her coat pocket, a rusted hotel key, room 307. And from somewhere far away in the mountains, soft wedding music echoed through the snow. The end.